The highlight of Easter is, of course, dressing up and being scared of the witches. The what now? The witches. That's right. Hello, positive people! Happy Easter! Glad Påsk if you are Swedish. I have a confession to make. I actually wasn't gonna make this video because, one, I've actually never had a Swedish Easter. I have always been with my family in England, or I have been with my partner's family who celebrate a Macedonian Easter. And two, honestly, I didn't think that Swedes did anything out of the ordinary. You're gonna understand why I'm laughing so much in a minute, but yeah, there are a lot of traditions that are very similar to, I think, the rest of the world when it comes to Easter. They decorate eggs, you'll see bunnies everywhere, they have a big meal with their family, and it's typically quite a lot like the Christmas meal, the julbord. If you haven't seen my Christmas video, you can check that out, although why would you, because it's not Christmas. Anyway, so I was looking through, doing some research for this video, just to see, just in case maybe there is something interesting. And it turns out that taking coloured feathers and putting them on the end of birch twigs isn't the weirdest thing they do at Easter. But let's not pass that by, that's still pretty random. I don't know why. The highlight of Easter is, of course, dressing up and being scared of the witches. The what now? The witches. That's right. Because everyone knows Easter is a time for spookiness and scariness. So you're probably wondering, what exactly is with the whole witch thing? Well, I'm gonna get onto that. But first, we're jumping into my kitchen to start cooking the smorgasbord, which is very much like the julbord, but it's Easter. And you know what else is pretty much the exact same as Christmas stuff, but just with an Easter label on it? You remember that Christmas video I did where we had this like similar looking thing, but it was like a Christmassy label? Yeah, that's pretty much the exact only difference, is that it's a Christmas label and now it's påskmust instead of julmust. They just put a different label on it. Like that's what I've always had. I've actually never had påskmust. I've only ever had a julmust. So yeah, we'll see what it's like. I love this label though. It's like a really traditional looking label. I just think it's so cute. I really like this one. I don't know. So the first thing I'm gonna try and not screw up is actually breadcrumbs. And that is because Swedish meatballs have breadcrumbs in them. So I am going to use my fake food processor because, as always, you know me, if you don't have it, you make the best with what you've got. So I don't have a food processor, but I do have a smoothie maker. So I'm gonna put my bread into there and try and make breadcrumbs. So should I take you out of your witch suspense whilst I'm doing the garlic? I always try and like squish the garlic. So apparently, according to Swedish folk tradition, folk stories, I don't know, they believe that on this day that I'm actually recording this, which is the Thursday, this was the day that all of the witches would fly to a legendary island and feast and dance with the devil. So they would take all of their, you know, farming tools, anything that the witches could use, and they would close everything up, tidy everything away, which some sources have told me is why people do spring cleaning on this day, because of this. But some sources didn't say that, so I can't tell you if that's actually accurate or not. All the sources I did use are all Swedish websites, so make of that what you will. So now, obviously, I don't think you'll find any Swedes that believe there are actually witches going to feast and dance with the devil these days. But they dress up like a witch. And the thing that gets really interesting, because I was like straight away like, how did I not notice people are dressed up as witches? You know, there's like pointy hat, black clothes. It's pretty standard, right? Except it's not in Sweden. Because actually a better translation, it's more like Easter hag, I think, because that's how they dress. They have a headscarf, they have big rosy red cheeks, freckles, and that is like their version of the Easter witch or Easter hag, I guess. So what's the point, right? Do they just dress up like this? Do they what? No, they basically go around and trick or treat. This is what I've read anyway. And I have had different sources, so if you're Swedish, please let us know in the comments what they do in your area and if you have either of these traditions. Apparently some areas of Sweden, they have the kids dress up and then the kids will go from like house to house with Easter cards and drawings, and they will give them to their neighbors in the hope that they will get sweets in return. Now that might sound familiar to you, right? Yeah, that's trick-or-treating. That's like a slightly politer, nicer version of trick-or-treating in my opinion. And I've never had anyone knock here on our apartment, but I've also never had them knock for Halloween, so I think because I'm in an apartment, maybe that's potentially why. So, there you have it. Sweden is pretty much trick-or-treating at Easter. What else was it we needed? Allspice or nutmeg? Okay, allspice. That. And a little bit of this. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm actually kind of nervous about making Swedish meatballs because I feel like it's one of those like, yeah, I don't know, Swedish meatballs is like one of those things that's like so standard, and I feel like if you're in Sweden and you can't make Swedish meatballs, it's just shameful really, isn't it? That's how I feel at least. I feel like I really need to learn the actual Swedish way. Boom! And also these are starting to cook, although I probably should have got to these faster because they're sticking! Ah! I'm gonna be honest with you, this is not a cooking channel for a reason. They are falling apart, they are, oh my god. What do they say about, don't, like a bad workman always blames his tools? Yep. Okay. Hard part done, meatballs ready to go. Next thing I'm gonna do, and also don't be shocked, I know you will be if you're Swedish. I have been here for years and I've also never had the dill potatoes, so I'm gonna make that as well. Also another thing they had no idea about is whether the potatoes should be cold or hot. I assume, hopefully my common sense isn't too bad, I assume cold because otherwise the dill must be a bit weird. But I don't know, you can tell me that in the comments. How should it be? Tell us Swedes. And I was going for cold potatoes, but to be honest, they're actually warmer than I thought they were, so I'm like in a happy medium. I can't be wrong at this point. I'm going for it. So that's my Easter. Let me know what you thought. Did I do a good job? Did I do a shit job? I mean, to be fair, it's pretty quick, so I think you could do like better, like not buying your ham and your beetroot salad and stuff like that. And there's obviously some things that I don't have because it's a really small one. If you want to see more behind the scenes, then do check out my Instagram because I am posting pictures when I'm making the videos, and I will also be uploading more things that are like behind the scenes on my Instagram, so do follow, it's in the description if you want to. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Happy Easter again. I wish you guys take care and all the best. Bye!